You've been awake for 6 minutes. You haven't moved yet. Not because you're tired, because you know that the second you sit up, it starts. And once it starts, there's no pause button until the whistle blows tonight. The room is almost yours. Almost. The photo on the wall, that's yours. Your wife, your kids. Someone from logistics placed it there before you arrived. Because familiar faces lower cortisol. Because even your hotel decor has been decided by science. The pillow is yours too. Technically, a cooling pillow, engineered for your body heat. The mattress topper underneath you was shipped here specifically for you, calibrated to your weight, your sleep position, your recovery needs. You didn't ask for it. Someone called a sleep coach asked for it on your behalf. You're sleeping alone tonight. That was a negotiation. Your federation spent real money, so every player on this squad gets an individual room, because science, actual peer-reviewed science, found that players sharing rooms sleep worse, recover slower, and perform measurably below their level. And the teams that couldn't afford to negotiate that, they're sharing. This is where you live now, not a 5-star hotel, not a custom training fortress, a university campus, the kind where 20-year-old students sleep through 9 a.m. classes and eat cereal for dinner. 14 national teams chose American universities as their base camps for this tournament. And the reason is quietly surprising. American college sports infrastructure is elite. The gym, the recovery pools, the medical facilities. But there is something else. A campus has a perimeter, a bubble. Out here, you control what gets in. The world's best players are sleeping in the same buildings where freshmen pull all-nighters, and somehow that was the right call. Breakfast is waiting, but not the same breakfast as your striker. Not even close. You're a midfielder. Your meal is built around carbohydrates, fuel for someone who covers 10 kilometers a game, someone who surges and recovers for 90 minutes. The goalkeeper at the other end of the table is eating something different, protein-dense, built for explosive bursts, built for a body that mostly stands still, and then suddenly has to do the most important thing anyone does all match. The chef has been doing this across World Cups. During the 2014 tournament in Brazil, the heat forced him to scrap the entire menu and rebuild it around pumpkins, avocados, and beetroot. Whatever was locally available, that is the job. Improvising nutrition for 26 elite athletes in a foreign country. Tonight, if you ask nicely, he might let you influence tomorrow's menu. Some teams do that. Player spotlight meals. One man picks the dinner, part science, part morale. You think about what you'd pick, and for 1 second, just 1 second, you feel completely normal. You put on the vest. Everyone puts on the vest. Inside it, a GPS chip tracks your every movement, accelerometers, heart rate monitor, and one number, one clean little number that sports scientists call player load. A single metric meant to represent how hard your body is working. Every sprint, every stop, every turn, every deceleration, every change of direction, logged, stored, sent. Your club sends this data to the National Federation daily, even when you're not at camp. So the coaching staff here knows exactly what kind of shape you arrived in. And here's the part nobody tells you about technology in football. Sometimes the algorithm gets it wrong. There's a story, not about you, but about a player not unlike you. A single aggregate metric made his training look underwhelming. He nearly didn't make the squad. Nearly. Then the sports scientists dug into the raw data, movement by movement, run by run, decision by decision, and they saw what the number had flattened. Positioning intelligence, defensive work, the things that don't fit neatly. Inside one composite score, they caught it. They overrode the algorithm, and now he's here. You think about that every time you pull on the vest. You are not a number. You are a collection of numbers, and someone has to understand the difference. You knew this might happen today. It can happen any day, at any hour, without warning. A doping control officer can appear at your door at 6 a.m., at midnight, during a film session, during a nap, and once they hand you that notification slip, you are under observation until the test is complete. That means exactly what you think it means. A stranger accompanies you to the bathroom, watches you provide the sample directly. There is no modesty clause. FIFA requires these test results within 48 hours. The standard turnaround time for anti-doping labs is 20 days. So to hit 48 hours, a UCLA laboratory is running 7 days a week, processing samples throughout the entire tournament. You hand over the sample, you say nothing, you go back to your room. This is the most unglamorous 5 minutes of your World Cup. Nobody puts it in a highlight reel, but it is part of the job, part of the trust, part of what makes the goal you're about to score, if you score, mean something. You nap now, not because you're tired, because you were told to. The sleep coach has mapped your night, or rather, what's going to feel like your night. Tonight's kickoff in local time is 9 p.m., but your body is Spanish. Your internal clock was set in Madrid. Back home, it is 3 a.m. You're going to play football at 3 a.m. Spain is traveling 1,469 miles to this match, and the kickoff, by the time your nervous system experiences it, will feel like the dead of night. Your cortisol will be falling when it should be rising. Your reaction time will be slightly measurably slower than it would be at 4 p.m. in September in Seville. The sleep coach's entire job today is to trick your body into thinking it's earlier than it is. Controlled light exposure, calibrated nap timing. You are being tuned like an instrument before a concert. Out in the corridor, 3 of your teammates are awake. They're not playing tonight. They haven't played in any of the group games. You can hear them sometimes. Low voices, the faint buzz of a phone. 26 players travel to this tournament. 11 start. The 15 who don't get minutes are living a completely different World Cup. The same hotel, the same meals, the same team meetings, but without the thing that makes all of it bearable. Research on tournaments like this found that players left out of squads experienced high levels of frustration, homesickness, boredom. Arguments broke out between international teammates who would otherwise never fight because shared frustration needs somewhere to go. You think about that before you sleep, you are one of the lucky ones. Your federation gave you a conduct manual for this, an actual printed document. Rules about what you post, what you don't post, when you're allowed to go on your phone, what you say. Because the wrong Instagram story at the wrong moment becomes a news cycle. Because the wrong comment becomes a distraction. Because you are not just yourself right now. You are a symbol, a squad member, a liability, and an asset simultaneously. FIFA runs a social media protection service during the tournament. A team of people working on your behalf, filtering abuse out of your mentions in real time. You put the phone down, you think about your family, your wife and kids. Couldn't come to the match tonight. Logistics, schedule, money, all of it. And there are players on other squads who have it far worse. Families in countries affected by travel restrictions who couldn't get visas at all. Fathers playing in front of 70,000 people with an empty seat where their mother should be sitting. Football is a global sport, but it is played inside a world that is not equally open to everyone. So you call your wife instead, 5 minutes, that's all. But she sounds like home. Here's what nobody tells you about playing in a World Cup match. It doesn't feel like a dream. Dreams are soft, strange, distant. This feels like voltage. In the 30th minute, play stops. Not for a foul. Not for an injury. A hydration break. 3 minutes, mandated by FIFA. Because the heat at this stadium, and at more than half the venues in this tournament, creates a genuine medical risk. Players who grew up training in European winters, bodies calibrated for cold, are asked to perform at full intensity in Texas in June. You pour water over your head. You breathe. You feel briefly like a person again. It is past midnight local time. Your body thinks it is close to dawn. You played well tonight, or you didn't. Either way, you'll watch the footage tomorrow. The vest data will be analyzed by morning. The sleep coach will adjust the schedule for the next 4 days, the long gap before your next match, the waiting, the training, without the release of a game, which research has flagged as its own psychological hazard. The inability to switch off, to stop thinking, to achieve what scientists call psychological rest from a tournament that never actually stops even when the ball isn't moving. You'll call home in the morning. You'll eat the breakfast someone engineered for your position. You'll put on the vest. Someone will knock on your door, and you'll do it all again and again and again until either you're eliminated or you're lifting the thing you've spent your entire life chasing. This is the glamour of the World Cup. The cameras only show you the last 90 minutes. We just showed you the other 22 hours.